If you are a large, 6 foot tall, 200-pound indigenous brown man who also happens to be a huge nerd, even if you're not 6 foot, 200 pounds, or a large brown man, but you are a big nerd, then I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite places in New York City to absolutely nerd out. Now, obviously, New York City is the mecca for most things, but I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite today. First off, we have Book Off. Book Off is located between 5th and 6th Ave on 45th Street. I stumbled upon this place one time walking through Midtown and absolutely fell in love. As soon as you walk in, you were just bombarded with everything that you can possibly imagine if you're a huge nerd. From collectibles, from replicas, everything you can imagine. One of my favorite displays actually is the console display right in the front. Obviously, you have your PS5s, you have your PS4s, but you also have some really retro shit too, like your Nintendo 64s. And for you real old heads who remember when Sega was amongst the competitors of consoles, you have your Dreamcast. You obviously have all of your different Game Boys throughout the years. All of these things I had growing up, and it's a nice walk down memory lane. And obviously, you have your catalogs and catalogs of different games. They have the PS4 games, they have the PS3 games, PS5, obviously. You have your Nintendo Switch, and they also have the retro Nintendo 4 cartridges. If you were not born in the 90s, you do not remember blowing into these bad boys. And of course, they have more PS4 games too. I actually didn't know that they had that Deadpool game, but just anything you can possibly imagine, and really good prices too. I mean, it's like GameStop, much less corporate. And again, the controls and the old consoles, absolutely mind-blowing. And I had to do this just for the nostalgia. Now, as I mentioned, they don't just have toys and collectibles and consoles, but they also have this really dope vinyl section. I absolutely fucking love vinyl. Me and my fiance just got a record player, and we are those people who now get vinyls. But it's also really cool just to kind of have, and I love how big like the images are. It just feels like grand and hella extra. But we found this really dope Stevie Wonder record with All I Do on it, and I love Stevie Wonder. They also have downstairs, they have all of these CDs for your compact disc players. I'm not a huge CD fan because they were around in my lifetime, so they're not really retro to me, so I didn't get in. But, you know, to each his own. Next up, we had Midtown Comics. I've always wanted to come here because, as you can see from the outside, you can tell that it is a haven for nerds. So I walked in, and it did not disappoint. Even the entrance, you know, just very New York. But we walked in, and this one is not as eclectic as Book Off in terms of like what it has. They don't have records or anything of that nature, but they get right to the point, right? You have all of your anime, you have all of your different comic book heroes, everything. They have walls of comics, and they also have these really dope replicas of these classic comic book editions, which I thought was really cool. Obviously not as valuable, but it's nice to have like, you know, little replica. And then just bins and bins of comics, deals. This place was dope. My favorite place of any comic book store is the collectible section because I'm a big child and I love a good toy. Just feeding my inner child. Also have really dope t-shirts as well, apparel, if you will. But Midtown Comics did not disappoint. Definitely will be back here. There were a couple of toys. This Doc Ock figurine for one that caught my eye that I will be back for.
I was trying to keep myself on a budget, but we did walk away with two vinyls of the illustrious, the legendary, iconic Stevie Wonder. I play these tonight.